the cut of 35 for the second jump. Now here's another man on the comeback trail, Kent Johanssen. Haven't seen much of him in World Cup since last season, since he finished 12th in Oslo. But this was the man who, in his time, took the Junior World Championship. And Johanssen nicely timed off the table. And that's a good long opener and a nice telemark. Over 110 meters. In fact, closer to 113 meters for Kent Johanssen. Now 25 years of age, 13.5 meters, and this is going to give him the early lead and set the pace. Nothing worse than an 18 by the style judges. He takes the lead, but a long way to go. Moving out onto the bar, the good youngster Adam Maliasz, just 18 from Vista in Poland. In the points 3 times this season so far. His best position in the very first jump of the season in Lillehammer. Maliasz, good, long, nice position and a good telemark. Now that's just about the same as Johanssen. 113.5 and it's spot on. Now it's all down to style. That looked very, very good, the telemark. These are better marks that are lining up. Remember, the bottom and the top mark thrown away. 319s to add to the distance mark. 106.6 points. He goes first. Hometown cheers. Well, not exactly. This man's from Schönwald in Bavaria, but German cheers for Christoph Dufner of Germany. Did well in training. Nice body position, skis nice and parallel. That's a good effort by him, and that's longer than either Maliasz or Johanssen. In fact, Dufner jumped 130.5 in training, but unfortunately fell down, so that's why the record for the hill is with Sakala. They both jumped that distance, but nicely timed off this quite short table. It's been shortened in the summer. And good position in the air and a very good landing. Like Chamonix a week ago, the table here just shortened, chopped off if you like, because the new materials now allow the ski jumpers to jump further, so this just regulates the distance they jump by remodeling the hill, but it's an expensive business. So Dufner in the lead now, and here's the man who has the hill record at the moment, Jaroslav Sakala, the 26-year-old Czech. Very good in the World Cup in '93 and again in '94, then had injury problems. Looked to have been on the comeback trail. But so far his performance is a bit, fast speed but short jump. Really got that wrong. They have had problems here. They had rain, which interrupted the preparation of the hill, and that's very short, 72 meters for Sakala, and he won't make, I'm sure he's not going to make the qualification for the second jump. They had some rain, which interrupted the preparation, and therefore the angle of the table is a little bit steeper than they would have liked, which means that you really have to time it right and push off 31st, and there's plenty of jumpers to come. Sakala won't make it, but the German crowd are hoping that this man will. Jens Weißflog looking today for his 31st victory. Oh, that's lovely. Little two-footed on landing there, so style could still give this to Dufner. Didn't really get the telemark, Weißflog. He's not been in great form so far this season, but the Four Hills Championship edging near 116.5 meters. It's longer than Dufner by half a meter, so it's all down to style. Just a little bit of movement in the air, but it's the landing that's going to make the difference between the two Germans. Weißflog, the Olympic champion on the big hill, announced at a press conference earlier this week that this is very much likely to be his last season. goes second, 107.4. You can see there the 17s reflecting the fact that he didn't get the classic telemark landing. The best Frenchman of the season so far, Nicolas Jean-Pro, had a great chance to beat his personal best in Chamonix on home snow a week ago, lying in second place after the first poor second effort. And that's no great shakes either. Less than 90 meters. Just horizontal marker line on the hill. And Jean-Pro. Form just disappearing a little as he comes to one of the most important competitions in the season, just round the corner, just 2 days away, the beginning of the Four Hills. Jean-Pro, 85 meters. Norway, well, the best Norwegian is still Johanssen with 113.5 meters. Not as long. Lasse Oddesen, less than 110, round about the 105-meter mark. So still in the lead, Christoph Dufner for Germany from Jens Weißflog, but of course, still Goldberger, Harada, and the Flying Finns, Ahonen, Laitinen, and Nikkola to come. 105 meters for Oddesen, down in 13th at the moment. What a great day, and look at that crowd. The top-ranked Swiss of the season so far, Marco Steinauer. Very good fourth place on the big hill in Planitza. And was fifth in Chamonix in the second of the two jumps last weekend. Nicely timed there. This is a good effort by Steinauer, and he's gone long, and he's got the telemark. So this looks promising. Not 116 meters, though. Not the length of the two Germans, but 113 meters for the 19-year-old, who is the most consistent member of his team so far. Incidentally, Stefan Zund, who's been out of form for a while, he's been back in competition here in Oberhof in World Cup, but he hasn't made the cut. And that's 113 meters. Now look at the landing here. Steinauer, this is a really good example of the telemark. Just a little discrepancy on the skis there. They weren't quite level, but that's a nice landing by him. And perhaps a little tight, perhaps, on the style marks there, I would have thought, for him. Now, Hiroya Saytoh, a winner. First time last weekend in the second of the two Chamonix jumps. Good punch off the end of the table, and you need that, and that's long. Saytoh looks to be the longest. It's short of 120 meters. No one's got near that yet. Remember, that's the calculation point. 117 meters. So by half a meter longer, and this is going to take the lead. 4:19s, that's good with good distance. Japan take over from Germany. Saytoh, 25 years of age. And this was very good. You really need to punch off the end of this table, and he does that so well. Real strength in the thighs, but it's all about timing as well. He gets the height and thus gets the flight. Skis, whatever movement there is, it's in unison, and now comes in for the landing and gets the telemark. Good jump there. So Saytoh looking for two in a row today, but a few could deny him now. Andy Goldberger, who failed to qualify last weekend in both of the Chamonix jumps. Not great. Well, it's over 100, but by only 1 or 2, perhaps 3 meters there for Andy Goldberger. It's well short, 103 meters. It's probably good enough to qualify for a second jump. 16th, yes, he'll definitely be in the top 35, but with an awful lot of work to do, and The Austrians also aware of the Four Hills tournament. Remember, Andy Goldberger, the defending champion of the Intersport Four Hills Classic, which begins on Saturday. Masahiko Harada for Japan, the Villach winner. Earlier in the season, that was a small hill jump. Harada. That's respectable as well. Not 117, but around the 115-meter mark there for Masahiko, who's having a very good season. Never out of the top 15, and in fact, out of the 7 jumps before today, only twice out of the top 10. And this is going to put him at his second, so once upon a time, a few moments ago, Germany with Dufner and Weißflog were 1 and 2, and now it's the 2 Japanese, Saytoh and Harada, who've taken over those spots. Just see there, he gets the height, then opens the skis for flight. Arms glued to the side there. You can see the skis not quite even, maybe half a point deduction there. But nonetheless, it's a very good effort from Harada. Harada, 4th in the World Cup rankings before today's competition. Oberhof, in the eastern part of Germany, just about 100 kilometers south of Leipzig, in the province of Thüringen. So Japan, Germany, and Maliash of Poland, the 18-year-old, there in 5th place. And now the first of 3 flying Finns, Jani Ahonen, although I have to say, in Chamonix last week, like Andy Goldberger, failed to qualify on the 2nd jump there. And that's not good either. In-run speed, not terribly high, 90 kilometers an hour, 56 miles an hour. There've been 1 or 2, a mile or 2 per hour quicker. And that's short, that's 93 meters for Ahonen. And didn't get the timing right off the end of the table. Star marks won't be terrific either. Look at that. Only 15 from the Norwegian judge, 25% of his marks gone. So errors all over the place in flight and on landing. 2 to jump in this first round, and here's the man in 2nd place in the World Cup rankings at the moment, Mika Laitinen, already 3 times a winner this season. Hannu Lepisto, head coach for Finland, lets him go down the in-run. Good speed and good distance. Over 120 meters, the first man to do that. The world bronze medalist on the small hill, but making a name for himself these days on the big ones as well. 121 meters, so the first man to get bonus points. 2 bonus points for the extra meter, so 62 points for jumping, plus the style marks. Laitinen prepared to sacrifice style on occasion to get the distance. Gets a telemark there, not the prettiest one, but 18 to 19 and a half the range. First, 117.6 the total number of points. 1 to jump. Ari-Pekka Nikkola, World Cup leader, wearing the yellow bib. Winner of the first Chamonix competition last Saturday. Well, I should say 2 Saturdays ago it is now. World Cup champion in 1990. He must be on the short list for Four Hills honours as well this season. Not as long as Laitinen. It's in contention, but it's several meters short of his own teammate. 115 meters for Ari-Pekka Nikkola. Good style. Look at this. This is where he picks up a little bit and helps to close the gap, but Laitinen's looks as if he's going to have a useful advantage of 4 or 5 points. 109 points for Nikkola in 5th place. And Laitinen leads after the first jump for Finland. There it is, he's got a 5-point advantage over Hiroya Saytoh of Japan, ahead of teammate Maharada. Then Dufner, the best for the host country, ahead of Nikkola. Once again, the Finns with 2 in the top 5. But a useful spread of points there. Laitinen, those distance points. Remember, he gets extra points for going over 120 meters. The others have 2 points per meter deducted for every meter less. And that's the difference in these points. Weißflog in 6th. Johanssen of Norway, the best for his country, ahead of Steinauer, who, as he has been for this season, the best for Switzerland. And Schwarzenberger completing the top 10. So the second jump still to come. The best 35 going as ever in reverse order. After these messages on Eurosport. Second jump, they've raised it 1 gate higher on the in-run, which means greater speed, and that should mean longer jumps. On the bar now, Silvan Freiholz for Switzerland, less than 100 meters the first time. Ah, that's much better. But of course, he's got those extra kilometers to help him. 105 meters for Freiholz, who's been in the points 4 times this season. The best result would be the 7th place that he got in Predazzo on the smaller hill, the night jump. But still not as consistent as we like to see him. Now here's a real baby in the sport, Karl-Heinz Dorner, but youth. No intimidation to him. And that's a good effort there. 92 kilometers, almost the speed there for Dorner. And he's gone longer than Freiholz, so given that he was longer in the first round, he should take the early lead in this second jump. Dorner, 9th in the Junior World Championships last season. Got a silver medal with the Austrian team. He's one of the youngsters who Austria will be pinning their hopes on. Now Dieter Thoma, who missed Chamonix, went off to St. Moritz to train. Oh, this is much better. Really good timing off the table there. And Thoma gets over 110 meters. Dieter Thoma, short of early season training jumps. Reinhard Hess, head coach, looks on. This man who collected 7 wins between 89 and 91. And all So 60 jumping points plus the star. Look at it, much, much better. 224.9, and suddenly there's a man with an advantage, and the home fans love it. If he does retire at the end of the season, the circuit will be much the poorer for his departure, but we'll worry about that when the time comes. Now Nikkola, the World Cup leader. Not a great effort, 115 by his high standards, first time. This is going to be better, and it is. Nikkola goes further than Weißflog. Reaches out for the distance that Mika Laitinen, his teammate, did in the first round. Delighted with that. Really floated beautifully. 121.5 meters for Nikkola to go with 115 from the first round. So although he was shorter in distance than Weißflog in the first round, he's made it up and some on this second jump. Really is perfect in terms of size and weight. 170 centimeters tall, 60 kilos the body weight, and everything going well. He leads 229.4 now, the leading set of points. That's the target. Weißflog still signing. He's now in second place. Hasn't been on the podium this year though. Might not make it either. There are still 4 to jump. Duffy, as he's known, Christoph Dufner. He's won the big hill competition in Oberhof. His moment of glory coming in 1993. So 116 meters the first round. So only half a meter shorter than Weißflog. But to match him or beat him, he's got to hit 120 with good style. Big moment for Christoph Dufner from Schönwald. Only once in the top 10 this season. Reinhard Hess waiting and waiting. Must be almost 15 seconds now. Well, it's not going to be what the crowd wants. It's short. It's a good 8, 9, if not 10 meters short of Weißflog. In fact, it's a good 10 meters short of Weißflog. It's 110 meters exactly for Christoph Dufner. Watching the landing here, but that really irrelevant when you're so short on distance. The style fair, but you can see marks taken off for imperfections in flight, and he's 5th at the moment. Weißflog stays at the moment in 2nd place to Nikkola. 3 to jump, Masahiko Harada. Harada yet to win on a big hill. Could this be his day? Again, like Dufner, 116 meters his first effort. This 27-year-old from Sapporo. Very narrow there, doesn't spread as wide as most, and doesn't really get the distance he needs. That's not much different to Dufner, I have to say. Left it very, very late. You can see the ski tips coming up very, very hard. There's the spread, not as wide as some, not as even as others in flight there. A little bit of movement, so those are star marks that'll go. But this time the technique, the timing on the table, just deserting him there, and Harada down to 6th. There's the leader, Ari-Pekka Nikkola, looking for his 2nd win of the season. It would be his 8th World Cup success if he holds on. There it is, Finland, Germany, Norway, Switzerland, Germany. Good mix. And good for the German fans that their team are beginning to find a little bit of form. There'll be passionate support in Oberstdorf on Saturday, which of course you can see live on Eurosport, I should say, with Garmisch-Partenkirchen on New Year's Day as well. Saytoh. No, he hasn't done it either. Well, 117 meters the first time, another milk bottle falls off the wall. Nikkola breathes another sigh and knows there's only one man between him and victory number 2. But unfortunately for Nikkola, it happens to be his own informed teammate. Saytoh, 5th. So we now know it's going to be yet another Finnish success. But who's it going to be? Is it going to be Ari-Pekka Nikkola or this man, Mika Laitinen, 4 years younger than Nikkola? This jump for what would be his 4th success of the season. Remember, he never won a ski jump until this season. I mean, a World Cup ski jump, that is. Really has terrific strength, and that's great height, and it's going to be long. Oh, it's terrific. That's the longest jump of the competition. No question. Sails over 120 meters. In fact, he's over the 125-meter mark. And Nikkola sporting across to say, I know you've got it. You can see the difference in stature there. Laitinen, he's a meter 82. Nikkola, meter 70. And 126.5 meters confirms that Mika Laitinen has got his 4th victory of the season. 2 jumps over 120 meters, the only man to achieve that. And it's going to give him the lead back in the World Cup. He's going to take that yellow jersey back from Ari-Pekka Nikkola. He's very strong at the moment, physically and also mentally. And he was always good on the smaller hills. He had some fear on the bigger ones, but now he's found a way to master that. And there are the trio for the photographers. Still wearing the yellow bib, but only for a few moments longer on the left, Nikkola. Laitinen on the right of your screen. He's the man who'll be taking that bib. And confirmation, look at the margin of victory there. A good 11 points, the difference between Laitinen and Nikkola. That's a decisive margin. Weißflog on the podium for the first time this season. Johanssen doing a terrific job for Norway to keep their flag flying. Dufner down in 7th. He'll be a bit disappointed with that. Hulvart also threw his 2nd jump chance away. Goldberg is in the points in 14th place, but he's going to be hoping for better things on familiar hills on Saturday in Oberstdorf. But the crowd here, they've seen an intriguing 2nd jump, and there's confirmation by 18 points. Laitinen of Finland leads his teammate. Ahonen, who didn't qualify for the 2nd jump. Look at the difference, 390 points. Quite a gap between the first 2 and the 3rd. And Goldberger, the defending World Cup champion, with less than 250 points, ahead of Steinauer, Jökulsøy, who again had a disappointing day, along with Lassi Oddesson. Those the top 10. And it really is worth noticing that Mika Laitinen now has an advantage over teammate Jani Ahonen in 3rd place of 188 points. That's almost 2 ski jumps. Well, that's the story from Oberhof. The crowd have enjoyed it. I hope you have. The next action, first round of the Intersport 4 Hills Classic, Saturday on Eurosport from Oberstdorf, and New Year's Day from Garmisch, and then Innsbruck and Bischofshofen to round off the tournament they all want to win. For now, from myself, David Goldstrom, thanks for your company. Enjoy your day. See you in Oberstdorf.